One of the things that I'm obsessed about is finding the patterns and the triggers that causes a man to lose his edge. And what I found in the last 10 years is that a man loses his edge because he doesn't have the pull and the push anymore. The pull is that emotional drive that's gonna get you to the next level, and the push is a discipline and commitment to pay the price every single day. So Patrick Bet-David wrote a book called Choose Your Enemies Wisely. And I had Pat speak to my guys in a mastermind that we had, and he talked about the importance of choosing your enemies wisely. Why? Because a worthy enemy is gonna help you drive and create the pull that you need to overcome your challenges. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about how do you choose your enemies wisely? How do you get that drive that you're looking for to create that pull that you need in order for you to push yourself every single day to sharpen your edge? Every single one of us at one point in our lives is gonna have enemies. And if you don't have any enemies, it's because you're probably not working hard enough. You're not doing enough for you to attract people that want to criticize you or attract the enemies in your life that's going to help you level up. Because a worthy enemy can bring out the best in you. A worthy enemy will sharpen your edge. A worthy enemy will help you raise your standard. I picked up a book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely by Patrick Bet-David, when it talks about how to choose your enemies wisely. See, in order for you to succeed, you need to be a fearless competitor. See, in that book, it talks about it requires logic and it requires emotion for you to compete. But see, sadly, a lot of people lose their drive to compete. But see, when you start your business, you started the business based on emotion. You had this drive, you had this power within you that said, I'm gonna make it, I'm going to succeed in my business. See, even though the logic said that 9 out of 10 businesses fail. So it wasn't logical for you to become an entrepreneur. It wasn't logical for you to become a leader. The moment you realize you have that energy of being competitive, that will drive you. And every single man are driven by competition. And the moment that you find your enemy, you'll work twice as hard. Because an enemy will create that emotion inside of you that's gonna help you go to the next level. See, by the moment that you become complacent, you start relying on logic instead of emotion. Because now you have more to lose. You already succeeded at a certain level, so you don't want to play the game too hard because you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to go into the battlefield because you don't want to get punched in the face. And logically, it makes sense. Logically, it makes sense for you to slow down. Logically, it makes sense for you not to take risks. Logically, it makes sense for you not to try as hard. See, that's the moment that the enemies come in handy. That's the moment that you have to find your enemies. So how do we choose our enemies wisely? What does it mean to choose our enemies wisely? We have to create this opportunity inside of us to see, if I lost my drive, if I lost that energy that I once had when I started my business, when I started this to become a leader, and I'm losing that edge, it's because I don't have any more enemies, or I haven't identified my enemies, or I haven't seen and find an opposite force that's gonna make me stronger. See, the first step to find your enemies is you have to find a mission that is worth fighting for. Because a lot of people, they have dreams, they have aspirations, but they don't have missions. The moment that you have a mission that's worth fighting for, you're gonna find that drive. And this is the moment that you have to ask yourself, what is the legacy that I want to create? What is the legacy that I wanna create? What do I wanna be remembered by? What do I want people to say about me when I'm no longer here? See, the moment that you start asking yourself those questions, what do I stand for? What's my legacy? What do I want to be remembered by? That's the moment that you start finding your mission. You're finding a cause. You're finding something that you're willing to go into the battlefield and die for. See, the moment that you have your mission, then you go to the next step, which is get clear on who you must become to complete that mission. Because see, the reality is that most men don't embark in a mission because they believe that they can't succeed. They're too afraid to fail. They're too afraid to take a step. They're too afraid to do what's necessary. So therefore, they don't even take on a mission. They're not even thinking about missions. They just figuring out how to survive. As if you're crazy enough to have a mission, if you're crazy enough to think that you have a mission in life, your job is to ask yourself, who do I must become? Who do I need to become in order for me to complete this mission, to make this mission into a reality? See, this is when the emotion drives you to become better. This is the moment that you tap into that fire inside of you that knows that he'd rather die trying than stay by the sidelines. Because now you're a man in a mission. Now you are getting clear of who you need to become. But see, this mission has to come from a higher version of you. A higher version of you that's going to pull you. See, if you create a mission based on who you are right now, you're playing too small. And that's probably why you don't have any enemies. But if you create a mission based on a higher version of you, it's going to pull you to become better. And the third step is ask yourself, who is going to be impacted by my mission. Because right now we're going deeper into the emotion. We're actually looking to see who is going to benefit if I succeed. If I take on this mission that's been given to me, this mission that I'm going to embark on, who's going to be impacted? If I succeed, who will this benefit? And then if you want to drive even bigger emotion, you ask yourself, who will suffer if I quit? Who will suffer? Who will pay the price if I give up? If I don't step into this mission, if I don't step into the battlefield, if I don't play this game, who is going to suffer because I'm a quitter? See, what you want is you want to find an emotional leverage to help you to keep going when things get tough, because things will get tough. Life is hard. If you want to succeed, life will punch you in the face. But those are the moments that you have to look at and remember, who do you want to become? What do you stand for? What is your mission? And most important, who is going to suffer if you quit? See, and the fourth step is now you make a list of all the things that are going to get in your way. Now it's time for you to start looking to see what could stop me, what could get in the way. What are their habits? Because now you're going to start identifying your enemies, identifying what stops you, identifying the things that are going to prevent you from completing that mission that you have inside of you, that mission that's driving you. Are there any habits that are going to get in the way? Are there any negative beliefs that are going to get in the way? Are there any people that doubt you that are going to get in the way? So now you start making a list of who doubts me. What are some of the habits that I need to change? What are some of the thoughts and the belief systems that I believe on that stop me from completing my mission? That's when you start making a list of your possible enemies, of the people who are going to doubt you, or the things that are going to stop you, the belief system. You need that emotional drive that's going to help you to keep going. And now, in the last step is you pick an enemy that will drive you and give you energy. Because see, an enemy could either give you energy or drain you energy. So don't waste your time with enemies that drain you energy. Just focusing on the critics or focusing on people who are not going to give you energy. It's a waste of time. Create an opportunity to be able to get motivated and driven by an enemy, because not every enemy is worth your time and focus. Not every enemy is worth your thoughts. Not every enemy or every battle is worth you fighting for. You have to become strategic and choose your enemies that will help you sharpen your edge. That's the difference. When you start choosing enemies, choose enemies that are going to sharpen your edge. Choose enemies that are going to help you go to the next level. Choose enemies that will challenge you. Because a worthy opponent, a worthy enemy will help you grow. The problem is that most men don't want to have a worthy enemy. Most men don't want to grow. Most men want to stay complacent. Why? Because they're no longer playing the game to win. They're playing the game not to lose. So they're afraid to attract enemies. They're afraid of attracting other people into their lives. That's why they want to just hold their hands and sing kumbaya and say, can we all get along? Because they lost that drive, they lost that passion, they lost that competitive edge to be able to succeed. A worthy enemy will unify your team. Because now you could bring in this enemy and you could gather your team in a huddle and you could say, hey, this is us versus them. They're doubting us, they're making fun of us, they think we can make it, but because we have a mission, because we're willing to pay the price, we are going to show them what's possible. See, a worthy enemy will create that fire that you need in order for you to figure out a strategy to win. Because that's what you need. You need to have that fire inside of you that you're going to figure shit out. You're going to figure things out. You're going to figure the strategies to be able to go to the next level, because that's the only time that you're going to be able to use your enemy to get you to the next level instead of having the enemy drain your energy. But see, emotion is not enough. See, that is the emotion that you need. An energy, a worthy enemy will bring that emotion inside of you, will bring out that fire inside of you, will bring you that opportunity for you to say, here is the line in the sand that I'm willing to cross. And emotionally, you're convicted. Emotionally, you're there. But see, emotion is not enough. Because how many men we know that, man, they're fired up, man, they're excited to go to the next level, they're excited to have the edge, but then they don't have a strategy. They don't have a plan. You need to have the skills to fight the enemy. Otherwise, you're going to die. Otherwise, you're going to get beaten. Otherwise, in the battlefield, your head is going to get cut off. So you need to find the strategies and the skills to be able to fight. To be able to fight in business, your marketing, your sales, your systems, raising capital. Everything takes skills. But see, the emotion will create will, and the will to win will lead you to create the skills to win. See, that's the key here, to use the emotion to build skill. See, this is the pull and the push. This is what I talk about all the time. Having a pull, having a vision, a mission that is emotional in order for you to win. See, that's the pull that I talk about. Every single time that you have a vision and a mission that's pulling you, that you're emotionally connected with, that you know deep in your heart and your soul, God has given you this mission in life and you have to pursue, and you have this purpose that has a fire inside of you, that is the pull. So you also have to have the push, which is the discipline necessary to continue to sharpen your skills and keep on learning. That's the difference. Most men give up learning. Most men stop learning. Most men stop reading and stop creating the systems in place to be able to innovate. And most men just want to be complacent. I see the push is you continue to be a student of the game. The push is you continue to be a driver. The push is you continue to learn new things every single time and sharpen your edge until you complete your mission. See, my enemy is any negative force that stops me from completing my mission in life. My mission is to help men find their code to the edge so they can live with purpose and fulfill their destiny. I know their families are at risk if they don't find the edge. I know their kids are at risk if their father doesn't find the edge. I know their employees and their customers are at risk if they don't have a leader that's going to help them find the edge. See, that is my enemy. Any negative force that stops me from doing that. And every single day I need to face that enemy and fight the battle. See, that emotion inside of me keeps me doing what I'm doing, because I know exactly who I am and who I need to become in order for me to lead. The problem is that most men don't have a mission in life, don't have a vision of who they need to become. See, the moment that I lost my edge, I lost that vision. I had enemies before. I knew who I need to become. In order for me to become successful in real estate, I had enemies. And I remember an enemy once sent me an email that every single day I read. Every single day I read, and that email said, I'm going to fail. You're never going to succeed. You're not good enough. And every single day I would read that email that would drive me to continue to go. And when most people doubted me, I was pushing through. See, the moment that I stopped using enemies to succeed, I lost my edge, because the moment I conquered the market in real estate, the moment that person who wrote me that email went out of business because I took all their business, I began to get comfortable. I stopped playing the game to win, just not to lose. And that's when the sedation began. That's the moment that I started being complacent. That's the moment I lost my drive. And that's the moment that I became a victim of my circumstances. And I stopped innovating and reinventing myself. So I know what's at risk if you don't find the right enemy that will drive you. Because every single one of you needs to understand that this is not just a book or a concept. This is a way of life. This is how you sharpen your edge. You have to balance the emotion and the logic. You have to be able to find an enemy that will drive you, find a competitive, a worthy opponent that will continue to push you. At the same time, have the push every single day to find the skills, to sharpen your skills, to become better. Because if you don't face your enemy every single day, you're going to lose the battle. And it's your job every single day to identify the enemies. And every single time that you get to the next level, there's going to be another enemy. And be lucky that you're attracting worthy opponents. Be grateful that you're attracting worthy opponents into your life that will help you grow and expand. So now that you know how to choose your enemies wisely, I'm going to click on this link above and watch this video that talks about the 7 fears that you need to overcome in order for you to sharpen your edge.